I mean, well, I think that's the point here. I think that just made sense to me, thinking this through as I say it to you. It has to be a conspiracy. How could all this be overlooked, and how could Wikipedia leave it out? It can't be. It has to be somehow that big money has pushed their influence somehow, and they've had a drive to keep this covered up or something. These can't all be coincidences, and since they're doing that with everything else, it has to be the case that there's some movement to keep this stifled. I mean, why isn't in
worship. I said, is there a God? He said, yes. What does it look like? He said, it doesn't look like. You're sitting in the middle of it.
Which studies how information originates, how it's transmitted, and so on. And one of the laws of information science says that information never originates by itself in matter, never spontaneously comes about. Anytime we trace the copying of information back to its source, it always comes back to a mind. And since we have creative information in DNA, that tells me that DNA comes from intelligence. It's not.
Well, why does he allow that? He said, men bring this on themselves. Everything is free choice. I said, my people wanted to die in, yes, he said.
Go back and feeling somehow the influences of spouses and children and other relatives, or looking at their work and feeling that
the pulse that drives the blood through the veins in your bodies. What is your heart responding to? Where does that pulse come from?
As you know, Mother Nature uses all kinds of mathematical languages. That when we go to understand physical phenomena, we generally find that there's some sort of mathematical underpinning to whatever the phenomena is.
You know, there are these peculiar faculties of the psyche, that it isn't entirely confined to space and time. Now these facts show that the psyche, in part at least, is not dependent upon these confinements. And then what? When the psyche is not under that obligation to live in time and space alone, and obviously it doesn't, and that means a practical continuation of life, of a sort of psychical existence beyond time and space. Only ignorance denies. And I think if you think along the lines of nature, then you think properly.